Kelly Hansen on with me talking about what everybody's talking about. You're taking a break. You're finally getting the vacation that you have so deserved for 20, or should I say like 40 years? I mean, just crazy because,
Almost 50.
almost 50 years. God, I've been a fan since the hurricane days.
All
And
right.
the foreigner touring is going to stop after 20 years. So let's
Well,
jump.
let me just be clear. For me, it's going to stop. I'm doing all the shows through the end of the summer, and then our rhythm guitar player, who's a very talented guy, great singer, great musician. He's been in the band almost 5 years. He's going to be the new lead vocalist of the band. But so I'm stepping away. I'm passing the mic. So this will be my last year as the lead singer of the band. But I am going to do all the shows through the summer.
Through the end of what was going to be the 25 tour. So talk to me a little bit about Luis, because he really is a powerhouse. And I saw when you made the big announcement, because I was watching The Voice, of course, and I thought it was so masterful the way that you did pass that torch. It was just super classy. You guys did a medley of songs. You kicked it off, then you passed the torch to him, then together, of course, at the end on I Want to Know What Love Is. How did you know? When did you know? Two questions in one. When did you know, you know what? I think this is going to be it for me. And how did you know that the guy that stood on stage with you for all of these years was going to be the obvious choice to be leading the band?
Well, I brought the idea of me finally letting go to Mick Jones in 2022,
Wow.
and so we talked about it, and he was very supportive. He didn't want me to leave, and we've done so many great things together. But I felt like I've been in this business, like I said, almost 50 years. Been in the band 20 years, and I'm singing a catalog of songs that every singer couldn't even dream of having. Um, but it's a very demanding catalog of songs, and it doesn't get easier. I mean, the song demand never changes, but as you age, you change. And I don't want to be out there doing these songs less than the best I can or that the songs deserve. So what we decided to do is, when we started kind of putting things in motion, it made all the sense in the world to go inside the band to a guy who's been with the band almost 5 years, who's an amazing vocalist, um, and have him be the singer. And it just all made sense to do it that way. And then we were talking about how we were going to make this transition, and the Voice called us and they said, "We want you to play on our finale show." And I had the idea. I called my manager. I said, "Why don't we do the handoff live on The Voice?" And
Wow.
he thought that was a great, and The Voice just thought that was a great idea. And so that's how we made it happen. It was really serendipitous.
Yeah. And it's so impactful. So let's talk about when you did join, because I mean, you step into these crazy shoes. You've got this massive catalog. And I think what you did, and I think what Luis has the opportunity to do now in Foreigner, people have to, somebody coming into this has to capture the essence of a band.
Hmm.
You're not just going in and singing, you're going in and delivering songs. There's a way to sing songs and there's a way to deliver songs. You, for the band, they were very lucky because you came in, you delivered the songs, and you introduced this band to a whole new generation of fans. There are people that only know Foreigner with you, and seeing how you built that legacy. And you did. You built the band back up as this touring band that could now sell out big giant places, the ginormo domes in every shed for the summer as a headlining band. That's not an easy task to do. In the beginning, what was your pressure level? How did you feel?
The pressure level was high, but that's self-imposed. And I've always been kind of a perfectionist. I hadn't been on the road in 15 years when I joined the band. But fortunately, I had previous touring experience with my previous band, Hurricane, which was so incredibly helpful to me, because when you get it in a band of this level, the demands physically and mentally can be tremendous. And if you don't have an understanding of what it takes to pace yourself and to take care of yourself and to learn how to um, navigate the show as a front man, all those things really came into play for me and were really helpful at the beginning. I mean, it took me a few months to really find my footing in the songs, but I think I eventually got there. And by the way, all of this has been a group effort, a team effort with all of these great people in this band and in the organization, and Mick Jones, of course. And so there was a pressure, but everybody was really supportive. The fans were really supportive. Mick has always been really attentive, saying, you know, he wants me to make sure that I can do this run of shows or this month of shows. And because some people can, it's very easy to burn a singer out because you want to book a lot of shows because
Oh, yeah.
that's a lot of income, but that's great for the short term, but you'll fry somebody out. So you have to be cognizant of that. And Mick was always really aware of that. And so that was all very helpful at the beginning.
And it's not easy when you are a vocalist and there's so much you're doing. You're doing the meet and greets and you're doing press and you're doing, being the vocalist is difficult. And I'm certainly not. I know how tough it is to be the guitarist. So when I say this, take it in the right way, fans, but you're not hiding behind the guitar sometimes. There's no sort of like, oh gosh, I'm really not feeling well or my throat's not working that well and I can just kind of do what I've got to do. You're out there with your pants down every night and everybody sees and hears everything. And of course, we're in the digital world now, so everything's on everybody's cell phones.
Right.
And it's a super mega pressure gig for a vocalist, as you said, singing those songs. So how do you think it's going to feel for you on that final show? What is that going to feel like? That's a bittersweet vibe.
I don't even want to think about it because I know the whole tour is going to be emotionally up and down. It's going to be a blast. And I know there's going to be some surprises and it's going to be really fun. And when you play a show, at least for me, in order to communicate the music and the songs and the lyrics, you have to open yourself up emotionally to get that out. But what that does is that also opens it for stuff to come in. And so you're very raw. And that means that any emotion you feel will be very right on top, just bubbling right on the top. So hopefully I can hold it together and do it,
Yeah, yeah. So before I let you go, because I know we have limited time, so where do you think the future is going to take you? I would like to think that a lot of the philanthropic work that you have done is going to continue. You've got some great hobbies. I love you as a chef. You won Chopped, and you've also got the Barker Gang Customs with, the bikes. You're a car guy, you're a gearhead, but you've also figured out a way to incorporate a lot of charities into these great things that you do on the side. So talk to me about keeping that portion of who Kelly is alive.
I don't have any concrete plans for right now. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take a break.
Little vacay.
Yeah, a little
Yeah.
break. And then I'm looking forward to where the wind takes me. There are a lot of possibilities. I mean, the band has been working with the Shriners and the Grammy Foundation for 15 years, bringing choirs on stage during I Want to Know What Love Is, which
Yeah.
I've really loved. And I think we get the better end of the deal because they get raised recognition about the lack of funding for school music programs. We get to see the looks on their faces when they're on stage, maybe for the first time in front of thousands of people. And it's really it's amazing to see that. So I hope maybe that will happen for me in some way. But like I said, for right now, no concrete plans.
Yeah. You're going where the wind takes you. Thank you for all that you've given us too, and
Thank
breathing new
you.
life into this band that had a catalog of music that absolutely has got to continue on every radio station, regardless of format, which I love.
Right,
Classic hits, active rock, top
right.
40, like the Foreigner catalog is it's unprecedented. It is one of the most pristine and most beautiful catalogs in music. And you have carried that legacy on for 20 years, and we thank you. You have a much earned and deserved vacation, but I have a feeling that we will see you back doing
I'll,
something at
yeah,
some point sooner
I'll
rather
be
than later.
around.
Yes.
I'm avoiding the word retirement, but for now, just breathe.
I see this for you as a rewirement. How's that?
Okay.
Yeah,
Rewirement. Okay.
a
Sure.
rewirement. Kelly
Yeah.
Hansen, thank you so much, my friend.
Thank you.
Great to catch up with you.